Maneva na sema PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de osia dem yopo.
So Adolfo Omampanyini Akuffo Addo. Munim say enanu ya okọ Gunja asase so na festival ekọ honum okọ Gresisa festival na okoduru ya omanhene a ote na agwam Omampanyini se onsori ngina no ombechia no mo ntenase ya eye ne manfo bufu ya mo ankasa mu videos na etwagu tanse na air trendy from nwa na air trendy obra na in fact Gunja fo no buafu omu huru Omampanyini hu omu huru no sa na unim se ekoba na sa no Omampanyini Akuffo Addo chese program no krampo no wa mayampon chese wo free honom within some twinkle of an eye amanfo krampo antiase adintira because Omampanyini feel say ohene no ansori ambechi like one obechi an ohene no ansori to anfa nidie amma no bepesi yakoni yakotie details no mu ne nsem a eye Malik Basintale NDC deputy communication director someone oka edifas asem no any the in fact on the no so he saw what happened ti yanko na yanko tie ne nsam no emra ansa na ye be kon mesrew say obe subscribe to PENDREAM TV na wa like video am I say be betimi akọ akira ma foforo so atumi anya bi ahwe mesrew wo adwenkyire bi afato comment section na ase efamaye na share video to platform bi a wo so na amanfo ehun pacho yanko TV3 the big issue Jumadie no so obra na Basintale Malik okasa afa di isiye ewo Savannah region home.
First of all, if I hadn't seen the leadership of President Mahama, I would have thought that power naturally makes everyone arrogant.
Well, what do you mean by that? What does President Mahama got to do with this?
Now, the Constitution begins in the name of God Almighty, which means that whatever we do on this land is based on the conduct and procedures, the morality of God Almighty. Even in religion, if you are sick and you cannot stand to worship, even in the Islamic religion, you have every right to sit down and worship God. And so that excuse that because the national anthem was being played and the Mempe Asem chief was sick, at all costs, he ought to have stood up. 2 weeks after that Mempe Asem incident, the national anthem was being played where the president's daughter was receiving a phone call whilst the national anthem was being played.
What's your point with that?
Mr. Akuffo Addo was standing, the national anthem was being played, and his daughter was busily speaking to someone on phone. My point is that you cannot do one thing and on an earlier date and do another thing on another day. You shouted on the chief, you embarrassed the chief, you disgraced the chief, all because you claimed the national anthem was being played and the chief refused to stand on his feet. And then just a week after, your daughter is seen to be making a phone call when same national anthem is being played. What sort of disrespect is this to our traditional authorities? Number two, Charles makes a point that Mr. Akuffo Addo has never disrespected or asked any paramount chief to stand. Let me quickly make this correction. The chief Mr. Akuffo Addo was shouting on is the paramount chief of the Dodo Amanfrom traditional area in the Akan constituency. The paramount chief. They have 8 paramouncies in that particular traditional area. We have the Dodo traditional area, the Dodi traditional area, the Dapa traditional area, the Ampeyo traditional area, the Ahamanso traditional area, the Kajebi traditional area, and these are all paramount chiefs.
Well, the argument is that shouldn't the order or the category matter?
He said paramouncies, and I'm telling him that the people Mr. Akuffo Addo asked to stand up were paramount chiefs. They were not ordinary chiefs. Mr. Akuffo Addo went lining them up, shouting on them, and embarrassingly, his bodyguard was standing there and shouting at the whole chief of the Dodo Amanfrom traditional area. I looked at the video and I felt sad for a moment. That is this what power does to people? When you were campaigning You were lying down, bowing down to chiefs, and Dr. Bawumia has started that. Lying down, hailing chiefs, and all of a sudden, President Akuffo Addo feels that he's bigger. And so he's bigger than even God, who understands people when they sit down to worship him. Now, this is not the first instance. If you remember, when the Aflawo chief asked Mr. Akuffo Addo to please, in the name of God, complete an e-block that was started by President Mahama, did you listen to the response of Mr. Akuffo Addo? He looked at the traditional chief, the paramount chief, and said, look, if you have guts, if you think you can complete it, go and complete it and start using it. Gross disrespect to the people of the Volta region.
You mean just because of the president's response?
Absolutely. When the Kumfi chiefs visited him and they were asking why he hasn't developed their area, did you listen to his response to them? He said, you refuse to give me an MP. And so to hell with you, I won't develop your place. Whenever you give me an MP, I'll think about you. This is the levels of disrespect President Akuffo Addo on a repeated basis gives to our traditional authorities. Now Mr. Akuffo Addo goes to the Yabgonwura's palace, and I was glad I chipped that in. I'm sure he knew I was going to talk about that. Me, Malik Basintale, I'm a proud son of Gonja land. My mother was from Damango. I speak fluent Gonja, and I started my political career in the Savannah region. I know the ins and outs and the traditions of Gonja land. Mr. Akuffo Addo went to the Damba festival. He was given an itinerary, and he knew where he was supposed to speak.
Well, can we get that video?
Absolutely. I will interpret the Gonja they were speaking. He doesn't understand Gonja, so he doesn't know what they were saying there. If you can play it and play the sound, I will interpret what the sub-chiefs were saying. The sub-chiefs were shouting on the chief not to stand up. So you see the chief remove his hand, and he did this. He said, no, look at it. That's right. He says, I won't get up. He did this. The sub-chiefs were saying, Sankoso in Gonja means don't stand up. Are you sure? I'm telling you that I'm a Gonja.
Yes.
I'm telling you I'm interpreting Gonja to you. You can call any Gonja into the studio and let him interpret it.
Are you sure?
The sub-chiefs were telling him, Sankoso, don't get up. And the chief removed his hand from his regalia. And then he did this. He said no. And then shook his head this way. Then Mr. Akuffo
Addo so bia na obeti me de wa huna akọ no so na sorry. What do you mean? Ohini bia. Fear. Mansa, wasun afoforo anya honum o. So wasun afoforo anya srem say jatam o. What do you mean? What you can be dane aponchi? Na ye do you are joking. Wasun afoforo anya sa esre no so ho. Bon kancho man penyina Akuffo Addo so wasun afoforo anya sa esre no so. Odi agro be dane ye be dane na ponchi ye na betna ye na be she a Flagstaff house for 7 years ansana watumi apie hwe Nebuchadnezzar esra so ho no ko dane abua bi no
walk to him. Now interestingly, let me tell you what transpired after. Just because Mr. Akuffo Addo was angry that he had been bruised, his ego had been bruised. He did not spend up to 20 minutes at the program. And Charles, you can ask your party people. Per protocol, and you spoke about itinerary, per protocol, we're supposed to give the opening prayer. The Gonjala Youth Association president was supposed to speak. The Yabgonwura was supposed to give his remarks. President Mahama was supposed to speak. And then, of course, the president of the republic will give his final remarks. Just when the Gonjaland president started speaking, Mr. Akuffo Addo got up and ordered that he wanted to speak and leave, and that his helicopter had already been sparked. He took the mic, he spoke before the Yabgonwura, and then immediately when he was done, he left the scene. It was the Gonjaland Youth Association Congress. Everybody, we were all there. He left the scene. So as of today, President Akuffo Addo does not even know the speech the Yabgonwura gave. And usually, how can you come to my house?
But the president has various itineraries.
I'm saying that
please end for me.
He agreed and accepted the itinerary that was given to him. As of today, President Akuffo Addo cannot tell what the Yabgonwura even said at the venue.
Now, my problem now say ufi say won't me embra unwase ma omo customs and culture over there. Why do you go there? Yeah, more invitation. And no answer suma. U ministers no baako. And answer vice monko. Why do you force yourself by going there to disrespect them in their own homeland? Why from this disrespect? This gross disrespect. If him fa una na adia. Na se wo fi se waso afofra. Fa wura seremu ho. Seremu ye ni agro ho. ono hunye hu se keje bi hini ena ono sabio ehunti osore mawa, which I even doubt that papa no be sorry. Basrem ho de don't dare. So hu de amount for the year. You haven't seen that, you've seen nothing. Unya hu hwere.
Invite you to my program. And me that I'm supposed to speak so that you listen to me and at least respond as the final man. Just because you were angry I refused to stand, you walk out of the place. And you see, look, Roland, Mr. Akuffo Addo continuously disrespects our traditional authorities. But what saddens my heart is what he has trained Alhaji Bawumia to start doing. And Alhaji Bawumia has decided to start lying to our traditional authorities. Dr. Bawumia went to the Yanes Palace and you see, Charles, you know this, that when you lie in the palace, in somewhere even in the north, sometimes those days you could even be turned into a goat.
Yes. Oh, you'll be turned into a goat. Akuffo Addo, ube you ever done no dying a punching near Tamo do about Flagstaff na umu ade opening. Masa not northern regional. And ya ho na obet me this Takashi no Akuffo Addo. Masa dey there.
Yeah, went to the Yana, looked at him and told him, I'm going to build an agricultural university for you. Told him, I'm going to build airstrip for you. Till date, not a single broker. And so, continuously, I beg your pardon, continuously, as out of the arrogance of President Akuffo Addo and his constant disregard and disrespect to our chiefs, he's gradually training Alhaji Bawumia into that same corridor. And you see, all I want to say is that, look, Roland, power shouldn't make us this arrogant. If power can make you so pompous, if power can make you so feel so big of yourself to the extent that you talk recklessly to traditional rulers.
What do you mean by reckless?
No, I feel sad because
meaning what?
But for the fact that the Yabgonwura stood his grounds, our traditional authority would.
But there are videos where the president went to greet the Yabgonwura.
And there are videos where the president. There are videos in recent times the president greeted the Ochehene. He never ordered him to stand up. So why is it that you go to the Oti region and ask paramount chiefs to stand on their feet? I feel sad. And you see, the Oti regional traditional council needs a little cleansing. I dare say it here. What Mr. Akuffo Addo did there was to desecrate their throne, was to shout on their ruler and ask him
Mr. Charles Bishop, but Malik, let me refer to you.
Ready to support
There's a point that Charles Bishop has been making here, and I
do.
think that all of us need to take cognizance of that. If you go to Article 57.1, it says the president shall be a president of the Republic of Ghana, who shall be the head of state and head of government and commander-in-chief of the Ghana forces.
That's right.
So what?
It takes precedence over everybody. Somebody will please.
So I'll answer that quickly. No, I need to answer that. No, you asked me a question. So which means that, no, Roland, just a brief one. Which means that, just a brief one. I beg you, just a minute. Which means that, if there's anyone who need water, you should need water. I'm coming.
Hold on for me.
Okay, so
on this very subject of Article 57 and the overriding powers of the president, just supposing that with, let's say, the chiefs and the reverence that needs to be given to them.
yes, so basically all I'm saying is that we need an introspection into it to say the kind of chiefs, because the Constitution has stated that the president is the head of state, so he actually takes precedence over everything. However, he came from a family, and he also came from a royal family. Most of us have come from royal families, and we know how we revere our chiefs. And our culture is such that we revere the elderly. So sometimes we've seen precedents knowing that this person is even older than me, and then one way or the other, they've actually showed respect to them. And so I think there has to be an introspection. At this point in time, Roland, I don't think trying to touch on people's emotions and all that, we need to actually be factual in the things that we say. You see, when he was talking about the Yabgonwura's video, he said Sankuso. There's no voice, but the gestures showed that somebody should give way to the president to go and greet the Yabgonwura. And you could see the bodyguard holding and then actually, protecting the president to go there. So the person was actually walking up there. So I don't think in this day and age where technology and stuff like that, there's AI, people can actually falsify things, which I'm not saying that these things have been done. But I don't think we should be doing propaganda with this thing. But
do you think it's a deliberate attempt to denigrate the president or create some mischief or propaganda? That's a position.
That's talking trade. The NDC has done that severally. You understand? And for me, in the past, let me tell you a story. You know, in 2018, in 2018, when 2008, when the president couldn't visit all constituencies, there was this story that he couldn't visit somewhere, and then the NDC went and told the people that the president is a cripple, hence he cannot travel across the whole country. Now, in 2012, we visited, yes, I'm telling you this. In 2012, we went with Bache Jakul and them lot. When the president got out of the vehicle, there was this man who came out and said, I thought you were a cripple. Because the NDC came here and told us this. And I'm just saying this, reiterating this, that those times, you know, that era is gone. At this point,
and throw away, and to also some okay evidence ben wine ban in Chevy said they came to tell us that you are crippled. What evidence no and throw say ya oh no you provide the evidence at all say or man pini and the bodyguard here says or hene so on sorry now man for ka say kosoma or say the kosoma sorry you say man sorry nana man sorry now no say any evidence enough na ABI AI no mo dia developing wo abegina edin tro say na Akuffo Addo kwa no nipa na bai also video e wo here wo de be provide even the one with the video you are doubting it you chere.
And if things are said, we can actually go and check the facts as it were. It doesn't mean that the president is not fallible. He's a human being, but we're looking at the human being and the presidency, and he was protecting the presidency by saying that there's a national anthem being played. It is my duty to ensure that everybody bows to the national anthem. Subsequent to that, we realized that the chief wasn't well, so that's fine. For ill health, you can sit there, but the president, I think, did the right thing by asking that we should actually get everyone to listen. Obey the national anthem of Ghana.
Just 2 minutes, please. I want to move to the next episode.
Look, the fact is that
need to play that.
If my brother, I beg your pardon.
We haven't seen it.
Please,
The Yabgonwura,
they played it.
No, the general public. We need to
play this.
respectfully.
We can play it 10 times, but that will not be my time. If you want to play it,
You
fine.
just have
You mentioned
So tell him to stop what he's doing and let me go on. Look, if you want to apologize for the president, on behalf of the president, just do it.
Simple. Obe apologize on behalf of the president. Naja is now to work can. Are there videos are there to prove it? What is this?
What you can accuse the NDC for being the reason why President Akuffo Addo asked their flower chief to get up and go and open the E-block if he wanted to do so.
Can you imagine?
You can accuse the NDC for being the one. So are you telling us that we whispered into Mr. Akuffo Addo's ears to tell the Kumfi chiefs that because they didn't vote for him, they will not get development? Are you telling me that we pushed Mr. Akuffo Addo to go to the Oti region and ask the Dodo traditional paramount chief to stand up and greet him and ask his bodyguard to shout on him? Is that what you're telling us? What has the NDC got to do with this? So this pension equalization, an attempt to say NDC did this. Where was I at the Oti funeral? Was I walking by the president?
What's your point with that?
Did I
Says
whisper
that
into the
it's
president's ear?
The actions of the president are being misconstrued. That's his position.
How they be misconstrued? You watched it. You saw Mr. Akuffo Addo shouting on the chief to stand up. Didn't you watch the video? And so you're supposed to correct him that the NDC has no business in this. We respect traditional authorities. Look, if you want chiefs to stand up and greet you, perform. When
Simple.
you perform well, they will greet you. I remember.
What modern your mind, what bandicroom, what be see hospital, what be see school, what be na kwine. Ono kwa American or be hagil. What has who be in 2016? Ahemfomu Mahama said they can't even sit on their seat, their seats. They get up and go and hug him. Yehu ahema ahodo omo sorry from monko nyamko hagino. Perform. Simple.
In 2016, and he gave a story. Let me give my story to him. This in 2016, when President Mahama was campaigning,
Your time is up.
immediately he gets to a chief's palace. The chief will stand up automatically and hug him because he had given the chief a school. He had given him.
As a minimum obeka video ben share. I feel that men share minimum nyina. But look at what I'm saying. And in your car, and you're the same thing. Who President Mahama, they get up and go and hug him because of the things they have done. He has done. And say, I saw Koko, no the money who be. Or Koko, what in your co man, a kind say, Massa. But for you, Nanki, who asphalt road away you crew mother. Was so say, Yawu, a fence of Mampini, Mahama, and ka a year fence asphalt crown, and can you who be where you crew had. Enti no nyame nhyira no nhyira wo nhyira wo nhyira mo bompaye guapaye e de ma no se nyame nsamfa no mbra biem kwawu hene kwawu man hene what you say
hospital, he had made these roads for him, and all of that. When chiefs appreciate your work, they will stand up and hug you.
Exactly.
But Mr. Akuffo Addo, of course, knows he's failed as a president. But the failed president now wants chiefs to stand up and hug him. Hug you for what? And that is why he keeps shouting on them. Look, please, let us distinguish power from arrogance. Let's learn to be humble, even if God bestows kingship on us. If you become president, don't go around disrespecting our traditional authorities. And as for this one, I won't shout on Mr. Akuffo Addo. He's elderly. I wish to appeal
Malik,
to him. Please.
You eventually saw the president go and greet the Yabgonwura.
In the name of God.
Roland.
Roland,
UPS,
no, you're asking a question. Let me answer that.
When President
Roland, why would you ask me a question and you don't want me to answer? And then you come in and you want to take in my time. Roland, you have to.
The chief stood up and greeted him.
That's right.
Yes.
He didn't shout on him.
No,
to stand up.
no, can I finish? The chief stood up and greeted him. Was that right?
Yes.
What's your point?
My point is that the chiefs that stood up and greeted President Mahama, are they paramount chiefs or just normal chiefs, or they were just
somewhere paramount?
It's a question.
Paramount chiefs.
Yes,
You understand?
somewhere paramount.
So are you getting my point?
Yes.
So when President the ex-president, when you walked in for party function, you understand, they got up to greet you.
That's right.
You understand? Okay. And then juxtaposing that with the president, the current president coming in, and the national anthem being played, and said, "Can we obey the national anthem?"
I'm talking about their flower.
So you see, at this point,
And
spinning.
no.
I mean,
spinning.
Spinning
You can't
all
let
these
him
things.
use my time.
All I'm saying is that we can sit here and say these things, and then just recently, President Mahama and he's talking about equalization. That's no, I didn't even actually open up with that because that was not what it was.
Right.
I'm saying that there has to be an introspection. Let's look at it. Article 270 to 277 is for the chiefs, the custodians of the land. So our actions. So we need to look at the things that's happened about. I'm only pointing this out. That when the President Mahama reveres chiefs, so when the chiefs got up, he could have asked them to sit for him to come and greet them, but that wasn't done. Really.
What kind of correlation is this? President
mean
Mahama goes in and chiefs stand voluntarily to greet him. And let me make my point. Chiefs stand voluntarily to greet him and equalize it to someone shouting on chiefs to stand up. You are going around begging people and commanding, forcing people to respect you. That's different from when you perform and chiefs appreciate your work. I have seen paramount chiefs, big chiefs, actually stand up willingly, voluntarily, and hug President Mahama because he performed, he did for them. But if you go to a community where paramount chiefs look at you and say, "Look, you failed, you haven't given me anything, I don't see a reason," maybe because I didn't give you an MP, and the president said if you don't give him an MP, you won't develop your place. Maybe because I didn't give you an MP, and you decide to shout on them.
Well, very soon
becomes embarrassing. And
we'll have on the screen.
We are appealing to
Lawyer
Mr. Akuffo Addo to respect,
to give us some clarification on the subject.
Our traditional authorities. When you go to Rome, you do what Romans do. When you go to his palace and he sits on the skins, there's a reason why they sit on the skins or they sit on the tools. I've watched President Akuffo Addo greet the Ochehene. He never shouted on him to stand up. He moved there and even knelt down and greeted him. I watched the video. I can send you the video for you to play. So why is it that when you come to the Volta region, you come to the Central region, you go to the Northern region, the Bono, and sometimes even around the Ashanti regions, you now start shouting on chiefs to stand up and greet you?
Right.
I mean, greet you for what? What have you done for them?
have lawyer, legal practitioner, as well as historian, lawyer Anoche Frimpong on the line. Good morning to you, lawyer Anoche Frimpong.
In fact, Good morning, sir. Adeɛ ni nyinaa ne sɛ ɔmanpanyin Akuffo Addo ne ho abɔ no ho so sesi a ɔnte bibia sɛ esi ano n'ani so nyinaa tan no enti ɔnam a ohun ne sɛ amanfo mu no because ɔpɛ sɛ compare no ho with 2016, the kind of love, the kind of cheer, the kind of crowd, the kind of applause anu onya oba nipa mu a na onya no opese ode compare ene ohunu se ene mmemu a mabeye president aka ewo se enka minya saade no ase emma biem those days na ka nipa nyina sori bum na hemfu nyina no maso no mutwa no profuse chese na ye hu bi da na oba besesa Ghana magana adane ayi America na ye helino ye kamfo no ye nyoma be maniti man dedenti enna wode sa no abedi president enna ode Ghana fo nyina ansa si fom ne nkrofo eta na chi nyina nsa si fom ne party fo nyina nsa si fom wa bon wa chen sebe eye mikrom assemblyman wa bonsin no onim hwe nti na wa ya mom ne oman ya assign na chi ekobeye 35 years back ene Ghana yesi kasem nyina pro atete apansam a ne oman ya wo wiase nyina wo kekan ya bom na wo pe oman bi de yesi kasem atoto mo Sri Lanka ena ye tumi de Ghana etoto mo Sri Lanka Omaya enka Mahama ekono na it was rated as the fastest growing economy, the second largest economy in West Africa. Omaya nanki ejina ye namonso anke ye ko yenim enne we are adjunct status. Omano chase ye free A free B Afri C, Afri M, Afri abes do atra Z. Ya tra Z chese omu de yakogu ball anu. Baby a ball ani gu hon ye de yakogu. Na sa nyoma ye nyina no as a result of the president's incompetence. Ne bon wa bonti. Na wonni mu hwinti. Chese ohun baby on fa kura no nkohyenti. Na ama enne ne ho do Africa na fo mu onama na obi ehwe nto onama obi ehwe nto obi ehwe nto na eye ne ya se adan 2016 nansen ya even 2020 kura ana nkrofo no mo plan bibia against me ana enti e say no ama inferiority complex bi abeche no enti ohun se ohini bi ansori oba na amanfo tetewa na ni ego no ohun na ase u bruzi ni ego la ase o de pania atia egugu no ho na ne ho keka no ehia ne say no mama nchiro mo say me na be president masa get up what do you mean I am the president you have to get up so that I can greet you get up and no na hello enya hwie o saa de no na eha o mampanyina Akuffo Addo ma obi antwestic issue no and twist no o mampanyini abon ama ne Ghana for one hu video eho mamudu baomia ma me mob video imfa nkyerɛw na hwɛ asɛm a make eho mamudu baomia na afiaso sala Ghana fo muslimi fo nyina kohyia pacho ma me hwɛ minyi mikiki no nto na minyi ade nkyerɛw muslimi fo nyina kohyia ewa Ashanti region the stronghold Mekan said the strongest impo of the NPP. Na ya invite omampanyini efensen abedi akiri se omra na okoya afei onam nkrofo mu a obia omampanyina pie ejina kase eteto ne nsa ase ta ni video bi oye mon fast here na mami akwa no be se ezito si asa akla ya je na football asa akla ya je na ball no fast here na omampanyina be jina car no apampam no wavy pese obia anka amanfo chair up na chair no ma na ebi mu sha se o yo mampanyini ana omampanyina be di akire a nka 2016 mu nka sambi amanfo kra be cross o ka ye mpene ma untwam ye ma fans ne hwan how will you feel o sha be feel saying o be feel say no it's like there is a plan to disgrace me there is anasa NDC for bi na hihiem e na omo ye me saade no wan hwe ya so we obi mu ade we obi se we go no osoro you might react o kasa mu kura no anhwe a o be kasa wo kwan a chese ebe ye amu ade kasa hwe video no Ashanti region kramofo wa Ashanti region omo stronghold hwe die si wo hono arafo mo hwe ade ni yo so hu ade a me de kire wo on say bi mu ye hu ase so hu me say bo for the last at me wi me say bo another video na wo hu ne me kan hwe ti hu on so obian we bi no kema kama wi omo no masa omo be to TikTok after ya hu ya vice president na mama what you say enti we president na wa hu sad wa hu obra na wo ba na nka nipa gugu na se nipa chese ye chese ye mobe wo hu ba bia ho fa o secret ni kwa bre na enne sad we tutowa you might feel say obi shachire, you might feel say a attack on your person, you might feel say a enemies ni na question crophobia chi no mu pushi we feel say NDC for ntu koto ohini bi na hu say ohini guest chakra asesa anya ohini we na first ohumi a enko sorry gina be matui ana obetwa me say na dey gina na oto then I have to show you some as me na me president masa get up and I'm coming greet who are you what you say because ohwe opposition no the reception at him for the man and Crawford the man now share with the wow we are president of the republic na wunya sa de na ube utiribete hwe mame mo omanpeni mahamade emfa nkyerɛ ɔno susu kamofo adana na omanpeni abedi akire mamudu baumia ɛwɔ kumase no na at the same time mahama soso ɛwɔ akra ha yanhwɛ difference no mame mo nkyerɛ me mo mahamade ne nkyerɛ hwe ke mahamade no utie ni omo kan say tabiu Allahu akbar tie look at the love so one there mama no je tie Ghana utimi hu the love odono the love in their eyes, in their emotions. You can feel it. Saadie no na china wa benya saadie we na ade achi ya saadie we nsa mma bi ma obu se bibi nko yi oho na se wo ya hantan a enya homaso a ebema wa bonkwase ase onwene se then I have to do some things like obi obu ade na adwene wo fie we smarter go back to the drawing board to do things right obu se no nyoma mi hunu kire say the grounds are not good the form nye simple me followers and I say me handlers da me a so na form o de masa grounds ndie masa ye be kill your mom ye be wie your mom election no ye be wini forget your mom ye wie kra agbena we a smart leader. These are some of the tricks, some of the signs I will be share who say Charlie the air cost no be the chop and koyi maybe I have to do some things. I have to change my style. I have to like map up some strategy and send to me and they are gaining me respect back. No man pay no one yet. O man pay no ya hand tying. O man pay no say ya. ɔne mo bɛko rough obi didi amanfo atem rough because or feel say obi na pese or disrespect no nipa ne NDC ni wan so de che so ye NDC ni eno na how man pagina Akuffo Addo aha PENDREAM TV. Make sure so subscribe to the channel. Me pacho o like video no ebebo me pa like it send baby to me akwa kira mafoforo nso so atumi nya bia hwe wo adwenkyire bia na wo de to comment section no ase e de amai me pacho but modern so be share video na ato other platforms so a wo eso PENDREAM TV yese edamu yopo
ya mobo wo Ghana etisika so o manya ohia mai nenam amamu a enkoyie enti no come there.
The country where I come from, the truth is irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Christian council, silence. Islamic leaders, silence. Kings and queens, silence. Traditional leaders, silence. So who go say the truth? We are them go so confused the call. Now by area why no baby. We are them go so confused the call. One guy's oh yeah why no baby. Who go say the truth? Who go say the truth? Oh, he may be tenacity was a so. Na your friend on a nine camasam. Only papi obeka nasembia. So and you want obet you too. Everybody was afraid. Nuntina nantuma koteti ajanai. Once na board dumping one anachi. But who go tell the truth? Nanai or say me. Nanso bien peso beka wasam because everybody is afraid. Anya safwe muayini. Akukudro for nyina danima. And see who go say the truth? Obiadra konson so to grow your man set to me be a cacobrafo. Efo anyina ye. Efo. When you know ye. Na so kutrata down na so be dia back or why no keke. Afene fo be manu mo pia fo efo e. Ne cross on my mo. Anya safwe muayini akukudro for nyina danima. Enti who go say the truth? Abaya di bote chino yedi bi bebo nyande bi kachi se udi oma opipi numa udi oma never shine my frafonsa. But who go tell the truth? DUC, silence. Even journalists, silence. Oh, then who go say the truth? Right is right, wrong is wrong. No matter how you justify. You say you wanna get rid of corruption. Someone want to help you. Now the person become your target. Jobless no they mean senseless. Poverty no they mean useless. One day then go resist.
Whenever I say my PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.